Hello everyone, and welcome to Can I Beat Pokemon Shield using only Bede's Psychic Pokemon? We all know who Bede is, right? He's a snarky brat who starts as a Psychic trainer and becomes the Fairy-type gym leader. This was most likely to show off Hatterene and Galarian Rapidash, who both start as pure Psychic types and evolve to dual Fairy Psychic types. But what of Duoja and Gothorita? Well, Bede dumps them. This video is to show what it would look like if Bede stayed a Psychic trainer. Let's start with some rules. I can only use Psychic Pokemon that Bede had used. I'll start off following his movesets, but then I can use my own later on. No items in battle, only held items and items outside of combat are allowed. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's begin. I transferred into Hatenna and Gothita using Pokemon Home. I named the Hatenna Megumin after the mage from Konosuba. She's Grass Nature, so more special attack and less special defense. Her ability is Anticipation, which notifies the user of super effective moves. She starts with Confusion and Play Nice. Gothita I named Shaltir after the vampire from Overlord. Yes, I know I misspelled her name, so sue me. She's Naughty Nature, so more attack and less special defense. Her ability is Competitive, so every stat drop raises her special attack. She starts with Pound and Confusion. I transferred in two Pokemon because Gothita is a Sword exclusive. It's actually the Sword equivalent to Solosis. Well, our first task is to get Megumi to level 10 to learn Disarming Voice to get past this trainer with Flipbug and Nickit. The battle with Hop went easy. Wooloo went down to 2 Confusions. Scorpion went down to 3 Confusions, but Megumi was in red health with a burn. I switched to Shaltir, who took out Rookity with 1 Psybeam. The next morning, we get our Dynamax bands and head to the Move Deleter. For the first Beat battle, Hatenna only knows Confusion, Round, and Disarming Voice. To learn Round, we need to get the team in Motostoke. Gothita knows Psybeam, Tickle, and Pound, so all we had to do was delete Play Nice. In the walled area, I wanted to catch a Solosis, but there were only 2 options. Solosis Overworld Spawn or Raid Dens. Solosis spawns at level 28 to 30, so I cannot catch them without 2 badges. In Raid Dens, Solosis is only a 10% spawn for 1-star Raid Dens. But unfortunately, we got the 35% rolls. Maybe it was not unfortunate. We continue on with only Megumi and Shaltir and into another hot battle. Wooloo was 2 KO with Shaltir's Psybeam. Scorpion took 4 Psybeams because Top used a potion. I switched to Megumi for Rookity. 2 Confusions win us the battle. With that, we can get to our first battle with Bede. We only have 2 matching Pokemon, but we'll have to make do. I started Shaltir against Solosis. Solosis' Endeavor is scary, so to help minimize damage, I hit Shaltir spam Tickle to lower Solosis' defense. 3 defense drops made Solosis a 2 KO with Pound. I switched to Megumi for Hatenna. 2 rounds take out Hatenna, and last is Gothita. I switch back to Shaltir. Bede goes for Tickle, which boosted Shaltir's special attack, and made Gothita a 3 KO. The first gym is next. So, I'm guessing it's because Shaltir is minus special defense, but Eldegoss's Max Overgrowth hits hard, while on-max Mindstorm does very little. For this gym, I start with Megumi. 2 Psybeams take out Gossifleur. I then bring out Shaltir for Eldegoss. We start with Max Guard to block Max Overgrowth. The next turn, we go for Max Mindstorm for some damage, while Max Overgrowth almost takes us to half health. Thankfully, Shaltir is holding leftovers. In our last turn of Dynamax, both Shaltir and Eldegoss go for Max Strike. The speed drop activating are competitive. Psyshock takes Eldegoss to yellow health before Shaltir went down. I send out Megumi. Psybeam takes Eldegoss to red health, but then magically takes Megumi to 1 HP. We're living on a prayer, but one more Psybeam wins us our first badge. It's time for another trip to the Move Deleter. For the next speed battle, Hatenna loses Confusion and Round, but gains Psybeam. Yep, Hatena only knows 2 moves. Gothita loses Pound and Tickle, but gains Psyshock and Rock Tomb. Here is an issue. Gothita needs a TM to learn Rock Tomb. The issue is that the TM for Rock Tomb is in Surchester. That's after our final battle with Bede's own Gothita. I tried running with just Psyshock and Psybeam, but these T-Mail grunts walled me. So I gave Gothita Pound to substitute for Rock Tomb. We are now missing 2 Pokemon because Bede gets a Ponyta, which are located in the Glenwood Tangle or in 2-star raid dens in Bridge Field. With only 1 badge, I don't know if I get access to 2-star raids. Well, after the grunts is a battle with Hop. Wooloo took 3 Psyshocks, but Hop used up his potion. Corvisquire took 3 Psyshocks too, but activated our competitive before going down. Shawtier took Reboot to yellow health before going down. The Megumi Psybeam finishes off Reboot. The second gym is next. But first, it's time to do some raid den checks. And thankfully, Solosis appeared. She's timid nature with overcoat. I named her Rimuru, after the main character from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. For moves, she needs Endeavor, Psyshock, and Psybeam. Now, let's talk about Nessa. 2 of Nessa's 3 Pokemon have Bite, which hits for massive damage. Dreadnought's Max Darkness actually managed to basically sweep our team. To battle Nessa, I started Rimuru against Goldeen. They crit Psyshock, 1-shots Goldeen. Aircrew is next. Innate Spite takes Rimuru to 21 HP, but goes down to 1 Psyshock. Last is Dreadnought. I switch to Shawtier, who's holding the Citrus Berry. Dreadnought's Max Darkness takes Shawtier to half health, and activates our competitive. As a result, Max Mindstorm takes Dreadnought to half health. Dreadnought's next attack leaves Shawtier at 10 HP, but we get the KO, winning our second badge. Our second battle with Bede is next. I start Rimuru, Solosis vs Solosis. 2 Psyshocks take out Bede's Solosis. Gothita is next. Bede used a Super Potion, so 4 Psyshocks take out Gothita. For Ponyta, it took 3 Psyshocks, but Rimuru is at 4 HP. I switched to Shawtier for Hatena. Hatena was pretty thick, so it took 4 Psyshocks to take out Hatena. We can now update our team for the last battle with Bede's Psychic team. Solosis loses Endeavor, but gains Reflected Line Screen. Gothita switches Psyshock for Fake Tears, but for some reason still keeps Rock Tomb. Hatena swaps Disarming Voice for Dazzling Gleam, but that is at level 30, so Megumi will keep Disarming Voice for now. Our next battle is against Marnie and Motostoke. Croagunk being weak to Psychic was easy. Scraggy was immune to Psychic moves, so I had to switch to Megumi. However, Disarming Voice is weak, and Scraggy is faster. As a result, Scraggy's headbutt hits us hard and flinches us, and if Megumi goes down, we have nothing for Mopiko. I ended up needing to evolve my whole team. For Scraggy, I started with Rimuru to set Reflect before switching to Megumi to one-shot Scraggy with Dazzling Gleam. Last is Mopiko. Bite still leaves us in green health, and we don't get flinched. 1 Dazzling Gleam takes out Mopiko. That was unintentionally hard. Next up is the third gym. I started Rimuru against Ninetales. We get up Light Screen and Reflect before taking out Ninetales with 2 Psyshocks. Ninetales did manage to burn us right before it fainted. Arcanine next and also goes down to 2 Psyshocks. Last is Cinescorch. I leave a Rimuru to try and Reflect back up, but Cinescorch outspeeds. I send out Megumi. Cinescorch goes for G-Max and Inferno, which leaves Megumi still in green health. And our Max Mindstorm is looking like a 3 KO. Cinescorch's Max Flurby takes out Megumi. I send out Shawtier as Cinescorch leaves Dynamax. We actually outspeed and go for Fake Tears as Bug Bite leaves us in yellow health. Psybeam finishes off Cinescorch. We can now go to Hammerlock and on the Stone side. But first we pick up the Light Clay and give it to Rimuru. Light Clay extends Reflect and Light Screen to 8 turns each. We can now go battle Hop. I start Rimuru against Cramorant. We set up Reflect before one-shotting Cramorant with Psyshock. Cinecobra is next and goes down to 2 Psyshocks. Toxel is a one-shot and last is Reboot. 2 Psyshocks take it out. With Hop out of the way, we have access to a small section of Glenwood Tangle. We can now catch Ponyta. I named him Storm, after Princess Zelda's horse in the comics. By the way, Yes, I said them, as in plural. Ponyta has two abilities, Runaway and Pastel Veil. Pastel Veil prevents poisoning, so I wanted that ability. I found 8 Ponytas with Runaway before I found one with Pastel Veil. She's Jolly Nature, so more speed, less special attack. That seems like a good nature looking at Storm's stats. I made sure she only had Fairy Wind, Psybeam, and Agility before facing the gym. I started Rimuru against Yamask. We set up screens, but then Yamask got a crit. 2 Psyshocks took out Yamask, but Rimuru's at 7 HP. Cursola is next. Psyshock takes Cursola to yellow health before Rimuru goes down. I send it Megumi. Dazzling Gleam leaves Cursola at 1 HP, but then Cursola takes itself out with Curse. I switch to Storm from Mimikyu. Storm breaks Mimikyu's disguise, but cannot do much damage. Mimikyu was only doing sufficient damage, but a Reflect wore off, so Storm goes down. I bring out Shaltier. Mimikyu activates our competitive as we use Fake Tears. Shadow Snake hits us hard, but Psybeam takes out Mimikyu. Last is Gengar. Gengar's Max Darkness takes Shaltier to yellow health and activates competitive. Max Mindstorm one-shots Gengar. Our last battle with Bede's Psychic team is next. I started Rimuru against Duosion. We both go for Psyshock, but Rimuru is faster, so Duosion goes down. Hatterum's next. Psyshock did not do much damage, so Rimuru goes down to 2 Dazzling Gleams. I send out Megumi, who takes out Hatterum with 2 Dazzling Gleams. I switch to Shaltier for Gothorita. I go for Fake Tears to lower Gothorita's special defense, knowing well that Bede's Gothorita also has competitive. It couldn't hit us hard, but we couldn't hit hard either. 4 Psybeams take out Gothorita. Last is Ponyta. I switch to Storm. I switch to Megumi. 2 Dazzling Gleams take out Ponyta. And with that, I now have free reign on my team's moveset. No more following Bede's movesets. To commemorate this, I gave Megumi Calm Mind and Life Dew, Shaltier Charm and Hypnosis, and Storm Stomp. I also add to the team Tatsumaki the Rolls, who I caught towards the beginning of the challenge. She's named after the psychic hero from One Punch Man. She's timid nature with Synchronize. For right now, she's just in the team to gain experience. The 5th gym is up next. Weezing gets first turn poison on Rimuru as we set up Light Screen. Psyshock takes Weezing to red health as Weezing uses Tackle? You're level 36. Why do you know Tackle? Weezing goes down, but Rimuru is at 7 HP. I switch to Megumi as Malwell comes out. We set up Calm Mind as Malwell uses Iron Defense. 3 Dazzling Gleams take out Malwell, but Crunch has left Megumi in yellow health. I send out our now fully evolved Shaltier for Togekiss. Air Slash is doing barely damage, but of course we miss our Hypnosis. Next turn, we go for Psychic and take Togekiss to yellow health. One more Psychic takes out Togekiss. Last is Alcremie. I'll leave in Shaltier. 2 Max Mind Storms take out Alcremie. We're now back in Hammerlock, where we have a battle with Hop. Hop's Trevenant starts with Confuse Ray as we set up Reflect. Shadow Claw still does big damage, but so does our Psyshock. Next turn, Shadow Claw takes Rimuru to only 9 HP. Rimuru goes down to Confusion damage. I send out Shaltier. Psychic takes out Trevenant. Next is Bolton. Bolton's Crunch gets a crit, but Psychic does good damage. The next turn, we go first and take out Bolton. Heatmore is a 2 KO, and out comes Cinderace. Fireball takes out Shaltier. I send out Megumi. 2 Calm Mind boosted Psybeams take out Cinderace, and we are at full health because Cinderace used Agility 3 times in a row. Last is Snorlax. We set up another Calm Mind as Snorlax uses Stockpile. Snorlax got all 3 stockpiles before chaining the Body Slam. And of course, it gets first turn paralysis. 4 Psybeams take Snorlax to red health, but Megumi goes down. I send out Storm. 2 Psybeams finish off Snorlax. We can now enter Surchester, and it's the moment we've all been waiting for. I can finally teach Shaltier Rock Tomb. It's a physical move, it's not even that good, but I don't freaking care. I could not match Bede's Gothita at all because of this one move. It's time for the 6th gym. For a psychic only playthrough, Frostmoth is scary. Its Bug Buzz can destroy the team. On our first attempt, Frostmoth took out half our team on its own, and don't get me started on Demand Cannon. I had to fully evolve the entire team. Frostmoth for this attempt started with Feather Dance for some reason, so we were able to set up Ice Cream. Buck Buzz almost took the move to half health, but 2 seconds to take out Frostmoth. I switched to Shaltier for Darmanitan. Darmanitan starts with Taunt, so no fake tears or hypnosis. 2 Rock Tombs activate Darmanitan's Zen mode, but now it's 4 times weak to Rock instead of 2 times. 1 more Rock Tomb takes out Darmanitan. I leave in Shaltier for Ice Cube. Psychic does not even do half Ice Cube's health, so we go for fake tears as Ice Cube uses Icy Wind, which activates our competitive. 1 more Psychic takes out Ice Cube. Last is Lapras. Lapras outspeeds Shaltier, so it was able to use G-Max Resonance to set up Aurora Veil before we can use Max Rockfall. Shaltier goes down after 2 more hits, but Lapras is now out of Dynamax. I send out Megumi to stall out the rest of Aurora Veil. Storm takes big damage from Surf, but then Lapras misses his Icy Wind, which gives us the opportunity to take out Lapras. 6 badges down, and immediately after is a Battle Hawk. I have Rimuru start Reflect as double sets up Defense Curl. I immediately switch to Megumi and set up 2 Calm Minds. Double is a 1-shot with Psybeam. Snorlax does big damage with Heavy Slam, but is a 2-shot. Cinderace takes out Megumi. I send back out Rimuru. Our Reflect wore off, so Cinderace's Power Ball does 100 HP and gets the burn. However, we do set Reflect back up. Rimuru goes down, so I send out Shaltier. 2 Rock Tombs put Cinderace in potion range, but Cinderace is now slower than Shaltier, so 2 Psychics take out Cinderace. Corviknight is out. We land Hypnosis and start spamming Rock Tomb. After 2 Rock Tombs, Corviknight wakes up, but we survive Drill Peck. We land our next Hypnosis, which lasts long enough for us to take out Corviknight. Last is Pincurchin. Psychic does big damage, but Pincurchin takes out Shaltier. Storm finishes off Pincurchin. We can now go down Route 9 and enter our next battle with Marnie. I started with Megumi this time. Dazzling Gleam takes out Life Hard, but then Toxicroak takes out Megumi in a single Poison Jab. Shaltier takes out Toxicroak, but next is Scrafty. I send a Tatsumaki, who is still under a level. However, we outspeed and one-shot Scrafty with Dazzling Gleam. Last is Morpeko. Spark takes Tatsumaki to below half health, but then Dazzling Gleam leaves Morpeko on 1 HP. Marnie uses High Potion, but our next Dazzling Gleam takes out Morpeko. The 7th gym is next, and well, needless to say, we lost our first team. I decided to go TR Honey, but this required a lot of watts, and time traveling. I eventually found Energy Ball, so Rimuru can hit Dark types, and Play Rough to replace Storm's Fairy Wind. Both together cost 10,000 watts. I am not kidding you when I say I emptied every raid den possible. Let's try Pierce again. I start with Storm. Our attack is down, but Scrafty goes down to a single Play Rough. Obstacle is next. We go for Play Rough and... dang. Obstacle is third! Our attack is down, but Play Rough is super effective, so that is basically the same as neutral damage. Obstacle's counter puts Storm at low health. I switch to Megumi, who immediately gets taken to half health with Shadow Claw. The next turn, Megumi survives a second Shadow Claw and takes out Obstacle with Dazzling Gleam. I switch back to Storm for Malamar. We do big damage with Play Rough before going down. Tatsumaki finishes off Malamar, and last is Skuntank. I go for Calm Mind, thinking Skuntank will go for Sucker Punch, but it goes for Toxic. Dazzling Gleam does not take out Skuntank as it uses Screech. Tatsumaki goes down to Sucker Punch. I send out Shaltier, who gets in 2 Rock Tombs and a Fake Tears before going down. I send out Megumi. A Skuntank used Snarl against Shaltier, so it must have been out of Sucker Punches. Dazzling Gleam wins us the battle. The 8th gym is next. I start with Rimuru and Tatsumaki. Flygon's Steel Wing does huge damage to Tatsumaki, but Tatsumaki's Icy Wind takes Flygon to half health and lowers its speed. I had Rimuru set up Reflect as Gigalith sets up Stealth Rocks. Tatsumaki's Dazzling Gleam takes out Flygon. Rimuru's Energy Ball takes Gigalith to below half health as it takes out Tatsumaki with Rock Blast. Raihan brings out Sandaconda and I bring out Storm. Storm takes out Giga for high horsepower, but she's now paralyzed by Sanaconda's lair. Removes Energy Ball, takes Sanaconda to red health. Out comes Duraludon. Sanaconda goes for Protect, as Duraludon takes Storm to red health with Max Steel Spike. Max Quake takes Duraludon to just above half health, but that was a result of a crit. Storm goes down next turn, but so does Sanaconda. I send out Megumi. Max Steel Spike takes Megumi to 4 HP, but Rimuru and Megumi double into Duraludon, winning us the battle. We can now go to Winden, where we can buy all 3 Elemental Punches and Drain Punch. Why? Because Rimuru can learn all of them. Her attack stat might be half her special attack, but it's still great type coverage. First battle in the semifinals is against Marnie. I start Rimuru and go for Reflect. Lifeheart then use Snarl, lowering our special attack. 2 Drain Punches take out Lifeheart, but we were hit with Torment. We go for Light Screen so we can use Drain Punch again. Scrafty's Crunch takes Rimuru to yellow health, but Rimuru's Energy Ball does the same. Another Crunch takes Rimuru to red health, as Drain Punch takes Scrafty to red health. Marnie used the full restore, and our Reflect wore off, so Rimuru goes down next turn. I send out Storm, who takes out Scrafty with 1 player off. Pasture Hook is a one-shot and outcuts Morpeko. Morpeko survives a high horsepower and hits us with Torment. We then proceed to miss 2 attacks, and we get paralyzed. That allows Morpeko to outspeed and take out Storm. Megumi finishes off Morpeko and lasts his Grimmsnarl. G-Max Snooze takes Megumi to yellow health, but Max Starfall one-shots Grimmsnarl. Our next battle is against Hop. Double paralyzes Rimuru with Body Slam as we set up Reflect. Double then sets up Cotton Guard, so Drain Punch does very low damage. Energy Ball, thankfully, takes Double to yellow health. One more Energy Ball takes out Double. Next is Snorlax. We just go back and forth between Heavy Slam and Drain Punch. A crit takes out Snorlax. Hop sends out McCurchin. Drain Punch doesn't take out McCurchin, so Hop uses full restore. Energy Ball takes McCurchin to red health, but Rimuru goes down to Poison Jab. Storm finishes off McCurchin. I switch to Shelter for Corviknight. We land Hypnosis and get a Rock Tomb and 2 Fake Tears before Corviknight woke up. 2 Psychics take out Corviknight. Last is Cinderace. Cinderace hits us with Max Ooze? Oh, Headstrong Shot. Shelter's Max Rock Fall takes Cinderace to red health. One more Max Rock Fall takes out Cinderace. We now have to go to Rose Tower, where we have to battle early on. I replaced Rimuru's Drain Punch with Fire Punch, which took out Frostlass in 3 turns. My Milotic is a 2 KO with Energy Ball. I switched to Storm for Salazzle. Salazzle goes for Poison Gas, which is negated by Pastel Veil. High horsepower one-shot Salazzle. I go back to Rimuru for Serena. Serena outspeeds and takes out Rimuru in 2 Acrobatics. I switch to Shaltier, who takes out Serena in 2 Psychics. Last is Garbodor. Max Mindstorm leaves Garbodor on barely any health, so one more takes it out. We can now start the finals tomorrow. It starts with the battle against Bede. Mawile is first, so Rimuru's attack is down. Fire Punch gets a burn first turn, so Mawile's attack is down too. 3 Fire Punches take out Mawile, but Rimuru is in red health and has a defense drop. I send out Storm for Rapidash. 2 playoffs take out Rapidash. Gardevoir is next. Dazzling Gleam takes Storm to 8 HP, but thankfully we outspeed. 2 playoffs take out Gardevoir. I send out Megumi for Hatterene. Megumi outspeeds, so Bede's Hatterene goes down to 2 Max Starfalls. Next up is Nessa. I start a Storm against Golisopod. Flare Up doesn't do much damage, but Golisopod's Shadow Claw does a lot. Psycho Cut takes Golisopod to half health, which activates Emergency Exit. Out comes Sneaking. Sneaking sets up Aqua Ring, takes Storm to 2 HP with Smart Strike, but goes down to 3 Psycho Cuts. I switch to Tatsumaki for Golisopod. Shadow Claw does big damage, but 2 Dazzling Gleams finish off Golisopod. I switch to Rimuru for Barraskewda. 2 Throw Chops leave Rimuru at 5 HP, but 2 Thunder Punches take out Barraskewda. Energy Ball would have probably been a one-shot, but I wanted to use the Thunder Punch. Next is Pelipper. I thought Pelipper would use Tailwind, so I left it Rimuru, but it used Water Pulse. I send out Shaltier. Three Rock Tombs take out Pelipper, and last is Dreadnought. Dreadnought's Max Darkness does good damage and activates our competitor. Max Mindstorm leaves Dreadnought on a sliver, so as a result, Shottier goes down next turn. I send up Megumi, who survives a crit Max Darkness and finishes off Dreadnought with Psychic. Alistair is next. You know, I thought Alistair would be easy since I beat his gym first try. Alistair, if I didn't have Widescreen, had the ability to basically one-shot the whole team. Dusk Noir was relatively easy. After screens, Dusk Noir was basically a 2-hit KO from Tatsumaki's Shadow Ball and Psychic. Chandelier was the first real obstacle. Its Shadow Ball does big damage, but it was not the real issue. It's the Pokemon after Chandelier, Poltergeist. By the time it comes out, Light Screen is gone, and this little bugger can set up Nasty Plot. I have nothing that can survive a Nasty Plot boosted Shadow Ball. Here's how Alistair was eventually evolved. As usual, I start by setting up screens, before switching to Tatsumaki, and immediately go for Calm Mind. But then, Calm Mind gets disabled. Dusk Noir is a 2-hit KO. Dusk Noir had lowered our speed with Rock Tomb, so Chandelier outsped. Thankfully, we had Citrus Berry, and Chandelier was a one-shot. Next is Poltergeist. Poltergeist got a crit, so Tatsumaki goes down. I send out Megumi. Poltergeist thankfully used Protect as we set up Calm Mind. Our light screen then wore off. Poltergeist goes for Nasty Plot as we take it to 1 HP with Psychic. Alistair goes for a full restore, and we take out Poltergeist with one more Psychic. Next is Crusola. We go for a Calm Mind as Crusola uses Hex. Crusola goes down to Psychic, and last is Gengar. We survive Max Ooze, and take out Gengar with Max Mindstorm. Alistair's Gengar uses only special attacks, so the special defense buffs from Calm Mind helped us out quite a bit there. Last is Raihan. Raihan starts with Torkoal, who just spammed Solar Beam. After screens, I switch to Storm. 2 high horsepowers cause Raihan to use his full restore on Torkoal, but we get a crit, so 1 more high horsepower finishes off Torkoal. Next is Turtonator. High horsepower takes Turtonator to half health. We get hit with Shell Trap, but Light Screen saves us, and then immediately goes away. 1 more high horsepower takes out Turtonator. Next is Goodra. Play Rough takes it to red health, and it misses Thunder. Bruh. 1 more Play Rough takes it out. Flygon is out. It survives Play Rough and takes out Storm with Earthquake. I send out Tatsumaki. Earthquake immediately activates our Citrus Berry, but we take out Flygon. Last is Duragon. I switch to Megumi. Megumi survives a crit max Steel Spike and takes Duragon to red health. Megumi goes down, but Tatsumaki outspeeds and finishes off Duragon. We now have to fight Chairman Rose. Rose was not difficult, except that all of his Pokemon resist Psychic. Rose's first Pokemon is a Scavalier. We only set up Reflect, as the Scavalier does big damage with Mega Horn. Next turn, we do big damage with Fire Punch, and a Scavalier misses its Mega Horn. 1 more Fire Punch takes it out. Next is Berserker. Fire Punch does less than expected, so Rimuru goes down to Throat Chop. I send out Megumi. Berserker goes for Screech, and next turn one-shots Megumi with Iron Head. I send out Shottier. We go for Fake Tears as Berserker uses Throat Chop. Psychic takes Berserker to a sliver, but Berserker used Screech. It goes down next turn. Out comes Ferrothorn. We land Hypnosis first try. We get in 1 Fake Tears before Ferrothorn wakes up. Psychic was not doing enough damage. We land our second Hypnosis first try. 2 more Psychics take out Ferrothorn. I switch to Storm for Klinklang, who goes down in 2 high horsepowers. Last is Caparaja. Max Quake does good damage, but then Storm gets one shot by GMX Steel Surge. I send in Shottier. We land our Hypnosis. I know Shottier is holding Widelands, but that is only a 10% increase. This is crazy. We get 2 Fake Tears before Caparaja wakes up and takes Shottier to 5 HP with Heavy Slam. Psychic takes out Caparaja. It's time for Eternatus. I send out Tatsumaki. Eternatus goes down in 3 hits. Not once using its 1 super effective move. Just for Eternax Eternatus to one-shot Tatsumaki first turn with Max Ooze. I send out Storm, who gets one shot by Max Ooze. However, Despite the chaos, we win. All that is left is Leon. But first, we need to grind. We are quite underleveled. We tried Leon in the low 60s, but yeah, we're not ready. Aegislasher's Shadow Ball does almost half Reamer's health, despite us having Light Screen up. Fire Punch is a 2 KO. The problem is surviving long enough to get 2 hits. Now, every single Pokemon on Leon's team has a super effective move except Charizard. There are no guarantees he'll use those moves though. I had a strategy for some things, but I still need to do more grinding. I returned to Leon with a team in the high to mid 60s. Aegislasher's Shadow Ball is no longer an almost 2 KO, but of course Aegislash King Shields are Fire Punch and gets a crit next turn. I send out Storm. Aegislash does not use King Shield, so it goes down to 1 high horsepower. I switch to Shaltier for Haxorus. Against Shaltier, Haxorus prefers Outrage. We start Charm before going for Fake Tears, and then one-shotting Haxorus with Psychic. I switch to Tatsumaki for Rhyperior. We still have Calm Mind as Rhyperior used Heat Crash. I reflect then we're off. Rhyperior survives Psychic and takes out Tatsumaki with Earthquake. I send out Shaltier. Leon uses a full restore as we go for Charm. We use Fake Tears, but then Rhyperior takes Shaltier to Red Health for Mega Warm. Psychic takes out Rhyperior. Next is Dragapult. I switch to Storm. Dragapult Shadow Ball leaves Storm on 19 HP, which activates our Citrus Berry. Clear off one-shot Dragapult. Next is Rillaboom. I send out Shaltier to get off 1 Charm before going down. I send out Megumi. Rillaboom knocks off our leftovers, but we set up 2 Calm Minds before taking out Rillaboom with Psychic. Last is Charizard. We are below half health, but that does not matter. Charizard's Max Rockfall does barely anything, and we one-shot Charizard with Max Mindstorm. We beat Pokemon Shield using only Bede Psychic Pokemon. Thank you to everyone who watched this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment.